Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm going to pop a few friends in here already in the back room so we can get started. I don't know what everybody else is drawing. I'm just going to talk God and draw a little bit. Diana left me alone. She's on her way, but she is not here. She went to go see
Oh.
Dungeons and Dragons, I guess.
Uh, I might see that
Oh,
next week. Tomorrow I'm going to see His Only Son. It's about Abraham.
hmm.
Oh,
I'm not sure whether it should be down there in theaters.
I haven't heard of it.
Haven't heard about it.
Yeah,
That's not unusual in America, though.
but actually it's less. It's more unusual in Canada for these things.
I don't know. You guys seem to have more. I don't want to say you have more faith, but you seem to have more bolder faith sometimes.
Well,
By the way,
Yeah,
anybody
right.
wondering, Rome's time for you is an old handle for Jerry Steen, my buddy, and I just thought I'd mention that. If you saw in the chat, I said Jerome's time for you. That was in dedication of that old handle.
Mm.
So how's everybody doing?
So far, so good.
I am good. Um, I pretty much got the first page of. I'm just gonna call it Piper, my manga.
Yeah.
So I just working. I'm just gonna be working on the cover image for it. You know, it'll be a cover if it ever gets probably made into a book. But
As you can hear, Tiny
Yeah.
is off and about the house, barking at everything that moves. She's
Mm.
quite the guard dog.
I was wondering what she was up to.
Well, it was funny. She came in here. She sat down on the floor pillow. Something shuffled behind her. I think it was a comic book. And she jumped up like
Mm.
a cat. I thought she was going to have a heart attack. She started running
Nah,
around barking. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing there, girl. Chill.
it's not it. Nah, it's not the book. It's not the book she was bothered by. Then again, she may have read the book
Yeah,
and was
well,
bothered by it, and was bothered by what was in it.
yeah,
one of
of
my
course,
older
because
ones.
it
So,
was. I was gonna say, of course, it was Chris's book.
yeah, it was one of the older
Huh?
ones, too. So,
Oh, you might one of those books that he forgot about.
I don't think I've forgotten about any of them. I have Cluster Fudge 3 in mind, but I might make that part of my Halloween surprise thing. I got something coming up. I've got a really
Mm.
cool story idea, and it's got a real catchy title and everything. I just can't release it till Man Guy's finished because I
Ah,
don't want to cross that stream. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
well, you can, but you can't. You know, it might actually be a good thing to put as an ad in for. You
It
know,
In the
might
book,
be.
well, no, because it's definitely not going to be for kids. Um,
Ah.
it's definitely going to have a God twist in it,
Well,
but it's
the
going to
thing is,
be
Chris, Chris, you got to look at it
yeah.
like this: parents buy when it comes to children's books, the parents buy them first. We'll see them first. That's all. So you can advertise what you want in it.
That's true. And I'll tell you what, I am surprised by how many parents are like, they're just like, oh, don't worry, my kid sees this or my kid watches that. And I'm like, okay, but I'm trying to tell you, like, you should probably check this out before you let your kid read it. You know, like you try to give them
Yeah.
a heads up and they're like, no, don't worry about it. They watch Netflix. It's like,
First of all, if they're watching Netflix or any other streaming service, what you got is not going to shock them. It's going. They've already been shocked
yeah, I
by
get
the
that, but it's still
by
weird
the
for me, you
human.
know. I'm like, yeah, but you're like a 12-year-old. You shouldn't read the F word. You know?
Uh,
read the F word. They're saying the F word.
I
word.
don't want to face
It's
that.
3 quarters.
First of all, they've been dropping the F bomb for since they were about 5.
I know I was dropping it too, but there's like this whole pretense
Like,
like of like
you
the
have to
order
get.
that's missing now, you know?
That's the whole point.
I miss the old
That
days
is,
when kids knew not to swear in front of adults.
But
Oh,
I don't think our generation was doing it from 5, maybe 10. Timothy's saying he's in the back room.
Oh, hang on. Diana's not here yet, so I'm like the only one watching. By the way, if you're in
Hey,
chat, toward you, it's nothing intentional.
I get it. You guys are all drawing. I get it.
come on, Timothy, draw something.
Jerry remembers the days when, like, yeah, you know, people probably. I imagine kids were cussing like even in the 40s and 50s.
Of course they
But
were.
like you knew when not to go.
Not to do it. Right.
Right.
You knew what. You knew when not to go too far with it. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
When I
Yeah.
was a kid, at least around like when middle school, I remember my mom telling me not to say certain words, but I'd say them anyway because I was getting at that age where you have your moment of rebellious behavior because that you're a teenager.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever she says, you're going to do anyways. Just
Anyway, yeah, just
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like you have like a Guns N' Roses tape, and you think you're a badass because they say the F word, and the subject matter is a tad bit suggestive.
Yeah.
Not all the way suggestive.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that might make you laugh, but I got chills when Ozzy went solo. They would play Crazy Train over the radio, and I thought it was the devil singing out. When Motley Crue came out with Shout at the Devil, I was like almost intoxicated by the whole concept of it. Hello, Lorenzo, by the way. I just caught your
Hey.
chat.
I didn't think that was what that song was about. It's like It's about going insane and kind of going off the rails.
Oh, sure, but Ozzy was biting off the heads of bats, and he had all the theatrics.
He was an
And he came from
alcoholic
Black
and
Sabbath.
high.
What's that?
He was an alcoholic and high, and when you have a wife and / manager who says you need to make a good impression, and you're drunk, you're like, yeah, I'll make an impression.
Well, I mean, we know that now, but as a kid, I was like, holy crap, he's like Kiss times 1,000.
And then Ozzy was just batshit crazy.
Of course, like when I came of age, and it was like I think I had missed the grunge era by 2 years.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, but I mean, I still was a huge Nirvana fan. I heard every single Nirvana song. I found all the bootlegs. But then I got into punk rock because if you grew up in Washington State, there are punk bands everywhere. You went to you'd go to shows at a community center or some place, especially in Bremerton. They were all over. You know.
You was in the garage band capital. What do you expect?
Yeah, so I got into a lot of punk music, and then you'd read interviews about Kurt was a big fan of a band called Black Flag. So you'd go and, okay, what are they about? And you'd go listen to them and like, oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like the Misfits, the Ramones, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get crap kicked out of you in mosh pits. Different era than what Chris is talking about. Sort of.
Yeah, yours was actually. It's weird because I do remember the punk scene.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I was in Orlando at that time. And then it was almost a mix of, it was weird. Like you would play up to the glam rock when you wanted to, go out and get the ladies. But when you were partying, it was thrash metal. You know what I mean? Like we would pose out for the ladies, but then when it was boy time, we were all like,
poser. Being a poser was not cool in the 90s. Sorry, dude.
No, but you could pull it off.
Being a poser was cool in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
you can get away with just about anything.
If you wanted to get into a fight, you'd call some dude a poser. You're such a poser, you phony.
Yep, that would always get it going, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was the 90s.
Lorenzo says, I used to listen to Shout at the Devil as a little kid. And then he says, that hair metal stuff was wild, but grunge music may have been the nail in the final coffin for metal genre. Metal's still around.
No, it was
metal's still around, yeah.
Hold on. It was the death nail in hair metal, in the coffin for hair metal. I mean, who really likes hair metal except for people who were into hair metal?
Who grew up with it.
Now, have you seen how terrible most of those hair metal bands have turned out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got to look to find some success stories.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you haven't heard it, Extreme just came out with a song called Rise. Check it out. Nuno Betancourt has been like my all-time favorite guitarist of all time. Like that sounded redundant, but it's true.
I will
And,
say this though. I will say
yeah.
this. Oh, go ahead. I didn't.
No,
mean
I was just gonna say, check it out because the solo in that
to-
will kick anyone's butt. It's seriously hot.
boring.
No, I'm telling you,
Boring.
check it out.
I'm sorry, dude. I can't get. The only time I ever liked hair metal was the whole Transformers the movie soundtrack.
Well, don't listen to the song. Listen to the solo. Like I would even recommend cutting through it if you have to, because
Yeah.
the solo alone, Nuno is just
Mhm.
blazing.
Hair metal just got really hairy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I
What else is new?
I can't get beyond the whole if you want my opinion about hair metal in general, the one of the reviews from This Is Spinal Tap when they're talking about their albums.
Oh, you're not talking about what I think you're talking about, are you?
Well, yeah. There's a review of their first album, and they said the growth of this band cannot be charted. They're swimming in a sea of sexual retardation and bad poetry.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yes, and that exactly kind of describes hair metal to me to a T.
Well, remember though, Extreme's not really hair metal, even though they kind of fall in that genre era.
Well, yeah, so did Bon Jovi.
And no, they kill Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
But like they had More Than Words, which is like their all-time biggest hit. And yes, that is probably the most wussy song out there. But,
so they were basically easy, like adult contemporary is pretty much what they were.
Yeah.
No, that was that one song, and they had a couple of other softies, but Nuno has been like on fire since he was a kid.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, she finally came in. She's home.
She's in the chat, anyways.
Hello, girl. Let's see if I can see her. Hey, I see Lorenzo saying hi. There she is.
Hello, sorry guys. Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hello, I think.
Stop right now. Stop it.
Hi, Debbie.
No, I won't.
Hello. I'm sorry. My dog is.
Your dog? I thought that was Chris's dog.
It's my dog.
It's only my dog when it's up here.
Yeah, it's totally my dog. She
No.
It's his dog when it comes to the fun stuff, and when it comes to discipline, it's her dog.
No, that dog will seriously play us out. Like she will demand a walk, so I'll go outside to give it to her. You know, I'll take her out. She'll walk me around the house and then come back in, and she's ringing 5 minutes later again because she doesn't want to go with daddy. She wants to go with mommy.
That's me. There.
Yeah.
Well, dogs will always find the sucker. Who's the sucker? That goes to them first.
No.
Well, in the walking sense, but I'm the sucker when it comes to like I'm the chew toy.
She doesn't attack my ankles or my wrists or my garments. She does go after Chris.
Yeah.
I can say no and stop, and she listens. I tell her to wait, and she listens.
Does she pull out on your pant leg?
Mine, she does, not Diana's.
No, not me. She's very well behaved with me most of the time.
Is she a small dog or a big dog?
She's a medium. She's 30 pounds, 32, something.
Okay.
Not big. So welcome to the draw stream. God chat draw stream. I just noticed that. Chris, thank you for starting it up. I had the opportunity to go see a very cool movie with my daughter.
Yeah? Which one?
I am telling you guys, I absolutely loved it.
Which one was it?
And it's not that I'm not a fan. I don't play the game Dungeons and Dragons. I just never got into it.
You know, it looks pretty good.
Actually,
I know that a lot of people love it. I know my kids love it. And so she wanted somebody to go see the movie with her. I said, I'll go with you. It was fantastic. Now, this is coming from a non-Dungeon and Dragon game player, and I don't know much about it.
All I'm going to say is Michelle Rodriguez.
What's that?
Well, should we tell Diana the truth about Dungeons and Dragons?
What? That it's a role-playing game?
That, and it doesn't have a set story.
No, I know.
No, it never does.
It's a role-playing game. It's I know that my kids have their group.
No, in this case, the story comes from whoever's playing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a very good movie. If you guys are into action adventure, check it out. Had a lot of comedy in it. I thought the acting was well done. But that's it.
Michelle Rodriguez that's the only draw for me right now.
Yeah,
She's hot.
Well, she is.
beautiful woman, but I mean, dear God, she can.
Well, she's hot for a gearhead, so what do you expect?
She's all yeah. I mean, she's hot and she's always playing tough characters, so it's like
Yeah,
know.
well, I guess if that's what you're drawn to, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But I really want to know
Don't
what
judge me.
no, I'm
I'm
not.
surprised they didn't put Vin Diesel in this movie.
What
I'm
are you
surprised
guys? What are you guys drawing? That's what I want to know. I want to know. I can't see what we're doing here. Hold on.
Rick's drawing a Pied Piper.
He's drawing it. He's drawing what could be a cover for his Pied Piper comic.
Chris has just got like
Right.
a structure for a character, but I don't know what it is.
I'm trying to draw out what Samson might look like because I put God Chat on here just because I wanted to
Oh,
kind
Samson.
of blend the two.
You have to
Yeah.
remember, Samson has long hair.
Oh yeah.
Anything else goes. You know that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to make it like something that will be powerful statement. Like I did
Yeah.
this right now, and I didn't like this. It looks all deformed and stuff. It was just a little warm up.
Maybe you could draw like
This is
Moses. And Moses says, "I have 15 commandments," and one drops and goes, "Oi, I have 10 commandments."
History of the World, Part 1.
Moses, Moses, can you hear me? I can hear you. What was that? Nothing, Lord.
Like I said, History of the World, Part 1.
Yeah.
One of the funniest movies ever made.
Yep. Too bad the new stuff, Bell Brooks.
I have God's 15 commandments.
Also, oi, 10 commandments.
10 commandments. Correction. 10 commandments.
What about the Last Supper? And he's like, "I pushed the malt wine. We're stuck with it." And everyone's being stupid with him. He's like, "Jesus Christ!" And Jesus is like, "Yes."
Yes. It was funny. That was one of the funniest parodies ever made.
Yeah, I mean, even as a Christian, I was like, "Okay, that's still funny though."
That is.
It's a play on words.
Mm-hmm. It's a play on words, and it's just got that. I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, I think in real life though, Jesus would be like, "Really, dude? Come on."
Yeah.
He'd be like, give him the "Oh, really?" look. Come on.
Come on,
Yeah.
really?
Well, yeah. If you want to get I'd say somewhat accurate picture of what Christ might be like, The Chosen is a good.
I
show to
know.
follow.
I've been saying.
I know.
dude. That guy.
Somebody just went all out with that one. We know this.
Well, especially like he even has a sense of humor too. You know, it's just not like all like some one-dimensional version of Jesus. He's got like a sense of humor, or I
Yeah.
don't know, just something.
So, what do you guys think the jawbone of a donkey would look like as a weapon?
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to visualize here. And so far, all I've got is like this horseshoe-looking thing that I'm thinking.
Well, look at a donkey. First
I don't
of
know.
all,
It says then Samson said, with a donkey's jawbone, I made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men.
okay. So
I just realized something. Everyone's picturing him kill 1,000 men all at once, but he never said he did.
He never said he did. That's the thing.
Yeah, he might have killed 1,000 men over time, though.
With
Yeah,
the same
well-
jawbone, like a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I think no, because there was he had just went through a fight, so it's in that fight he killed 1,000 guys.
Right.
Now,
You're talking.
but-
Hold on. You're talking
Now
about
that-
like. Mhm.
We're talking about the amount of time this fight went on. That's what we're talking about.
And if it was a battle, hold on. If it was a battle, it was probably an army, and he was probably fighting many people.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the battle
Right.
probably was over, at least a few hours, I would say.
Yeah.
On
So
is that
average, how
efficient?
In
long-
that amount of time, it's possible.
I mean, depends how big were the armies that were fighting. Was it a
True.
war? Right.
Could he use
Right.
the jawbone like a boomerang? Like
Not-
a Captain America weapon.
I would
it'd be more
think
like
he
a
would use
club.
it like
Be more like a club.
So do you think he would have split it? Like, because right now I'm looking at it and it's almost like a
Could he put
brass
a
Probably-
knuckles with an extension.
He probably would have split it. That's
Or it might have split on its own in the middle of battle.
true.
could he have put a rope on, tied a rope to it and swung it like some kind of like
Oh, he could have,
Like
yeah.
like a mace. Yeah.
yeah?
Could have swung
Yeah,
it like a
well-
mace. Yeah.
Well,
And
the
whatever
question
he
is,
did, it would be all goopy, right? It would be like
well,
Yeah.
at the end, yeah. Well, the other thing I would say, probably he wouldn't have been able to tie a rope or anything. He just picked it all up offhand. You know,
And just swung it.
It was just happened to be close by.
It was
You know,
the
I
one
almost
thing he
feel
could get
like
his
he should
hand on.
have, I almost feel like he should have like a sword of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
well-
could do that, but
It wouldn't be Samson anymore.
yeah. Well, when I go to do, when I go to do Samson eventually, I'm probably gonna have him be more real skinny. You know, look
nah,
like,
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Well, like Superboy?
well, maybe not Superboy, but look, you know, he's not going to be super muscular because you know these guys are. Where does he get his strength? Well, look, he's got all those muscles. where do you think it's coming?
Strength comes from his hair. That's the whole
Well,
point.
Well,
That's the whole
since you
point.
usually- well, not
But then
from
you
his
have to
hair.
understand. You also have to understand that at the time he's also doing a lot of manual labor too.
I would
Yeah.
think that he would be big like other
Yeah.
guys, but stronger than they can
Right.
muster, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and usually it says the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. So for me, I'm thinking, you know, he doesn't look, you know, all that beefy, all that strong, you know.
Right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why are we talking about Samson? Did you guys? Was there a scripture thrown out there?
No.
I'm trying to draw Samson.
No. Chris is trying to draw Samson. That's how Samson came into being.
Okay, so Chris, was there a
What?
scripture that you read that?
Well, I was looking specifically at Judges 15:16, where he speaks of the jawbone of the donkey.
Ah.
See? Now, yeah. I guess you're looking it up, right, honey?
And he found a
Yeah.
new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass, have I slain 1,000 men.
Well, you know, if you say the bone of an ass, that could be like a big dude, right? Like not just a donkey. It could be like an asshole.
So he found a new
No, but the thing is that's, you have
So-
to you got to look at
It's
the
definitely a
context of what's being. In context, it would be a donkey.
Okay.
Well, an ass is typically, you know, a
Mm.
donkey or a mule or cattle, according to what I'm looking up. It's a powerful buzzing saw. The jawbone is cleaned of tissue. Blah 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 blah.
Now, if you want to go now, if you want to modernize it, then you could go the other way.
Baby's
Yeah.
got back. Bum, bum, ba, dum, bum, and
but-
it kills
yeah.
people.
All I can say is Samson at times could be a real ass.
So the question is, how did he kill 1,000 men with a jawbone?
Okay, so jawbone of a donkey is a surprisingly effective weapon.
Right?
Even if it is
Yeah.
within-
Was it within a battle or something?
yeah, it says. Let's look through. Looks very
Yeah.
nice. It's pretty like if you look it up online, Chris. If you get a visual of it.
Well, I'm drawing, so how can I look it up?
Well,
Hang on, let me look it up.
You can stop drawing for a minute or two.
I'm gonna have to, yeah.
He could.
it's
He
just
could. He could, but that would be too.
Jawbone of an ass.
the jawbone of a donkey. Let me see what that looks like. Oh yeah, it's pretty. It can be
Mm.
pretty, yeah,
Show. I was gonna say share it, Diana. Show the
I will.
image.
I'm going to hold on a second.
So
You
they actually do split it like in half to get.
yeah,
that.
they do.
Yeah.
It's more like
Oh.
a club.
with this like jaw toothy thing to it.
I see it.
Ah.
Yeah.
See it all. Look at it all.
Oh, it looks like a knife almost.
Yeah, and look at down in this area here. It looks like they've shaped it into a knife.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
Not
could
only is
you
the
could
bone
poss-
tough, it's sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the question is, would have he broken it beforehand to use it as two weapons?
Probably so. Probably
Well,
so.
that much detail, but um,
I'd have to say
Yeah.
he would have to break it first to use it.
Do you think that it was laced with adamantium steel?
No.
No,
Darn it. That's not very sexy.
no. The thing is, it was hard. It was harder than the bone of any other animal. That's the problem.
yeah, it says it's very strong and very sharp.
Does it say what it's made out of?
It's just
No.
bone.
Chris,
The
stop.
density of
Oh
the
my God.
density of the bone is something
Thank
else.
you for coming by. Jerry's popping off. I don't blame him. You're chasing
God
him off.
bless you, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for popping in. One of these days we'll do a God chat with a actual theme.
Well, hey, you know what? You left me here alone, so I decided to throw God chat on it, and I figured I'd try to draw a little Samson.
It's okay. It's fine. I told you.
I've always wanted to do a little Samson.
I know.
I don't understand why Marvel and DC never really did him, did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
They did a version of him, but it wasn't. But the thing is about Marvel and DC, they're so into superheroes that if you do anything else, it doesn't fit.
Yeah, well, the thing is, back in like the
You-
60s or
well,
maybe
what they're doing now,
earlier,
do you? Mhm.
I was just gonna say back in the 60s or maybe earlier, DC actually did do Bible stories.
Yeah.
And even earlier than that, EC Comics got their start doing Bible stories before they went to horror movies and sci-fi. I mean, horror stories and sci-fi.
The thing is, any type of religious story will open the door to horror.
Probably.
That's the thing most people don't understand, because there are some horrific things that happen in the Bible.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you're highlighting it, but
Right.
and also how you take it. Like, I never thought of how grotesque it actually is to like strike the babies against the rock. When I read
Right.
it, I was just like, whatever, you know. But then there's
But yeah,
people who get
like-
really emotional about that.
But the reason why the Bible is like that, and most stories back then, even non-religious stories were like that, is because death was everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you were lucky to even make it to your 40s in some cases.
That's
well,
true.
depends on what part of the Bible you're going through. You look at, the first 1,000, 2,000 years, people were living, almost 1,000 years or more. So
Only certain people could live that long.
It wasn't the lizard people.
Of course not. Lizard people don't live that long. We all know this.
You leave Barbara Streisand out of this.
She's still kicking, though. I shouldn't make fun of her.
No, I was referring to the leader of the Visitors. You remember that woman named Diana?
Huh?
I know a woman. We all know a woman named Diana. She's right there.
No. From the miniseries V.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry.
that was a good series, and they did bring it back.
They tried to bring it back, but it was.
that scared me as a kid. I would hide behind the couch. My parents were watching it. I hid behind the couch. Right after I found out they were lizard people, I was like, ah.
What scared most people was when she opened her mouth and ate a rat whole.
I think for me it was when they.
Ozzy.
I think for me it was when that guy ripped off that mask or that face and there was a lizard face underneath.
Oh yeah,
That scared me.
Yeah, that would have done it.
Yeah, I remember watching V as a kid. I liked it.
I don't
barely,
remember it.
I barely
think I was
remember
allowed.
that miniseries
It
except
was-
for that scene.
It was funny, but but when they tried to remake it twice, it fell short
Yeah.
I just
because
remember. I just
they
remember that
tried
one.
to cut out all the gross parts of the original.
I just remember that scene. I don't remember any other scene.
I know. Like I said, they tried to cut out the gross parts of that entire series and messed it up horribly.
It's always weird when they try to remake something and kill what made it successful.
I know. They said we couldn't do it like the original because it was too grotesque for some audiences.
Yeah.
Well,
Yet it was a mini series, and then it spawned an actual TV series.
I know.
It was the most mini. It was the most smallest series. It was only 2 episodes.
No, but after that 2 episodes, it actually got a TV series.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it did, didn't it? And it also
Yeah.
had a toy line too.
Yeah.
They tried to make a toy line and that fell on its face.
You know
I've
what? I
actually
wish they
got
would
the
have.
series, the original.
You know what? I wish what toy line would have actually gotten off the ground.
Which one was that?
Where Kenner tried to continue the Star Wars toy line because Return of the Jedi was out and they're gonna.
Yeah.
So they tried to continue the series with a new toy line.
Oh yeah, I remember
They had
that.
some pretty cool ideas. They had was it a sand speeder? You know how they had snow speeders?
Yeah.
They had an
They
AT.
had a lot to work with, but didn't know how to work with it.
They had an AT-AT that they just removed the back and they put a cannon in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you familiar with the Dark Empire, the Dark Horse Star Wars miniseries?
Yeah.
I am.
I
I
am.
am not.
So there's a design for like the clone of Emperor Palpatine's guards that was actually taken from the original idea for the villain for the new Star Wars toy line that was supposed to come out after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually got that. I remember somebody saying something about that. I'm not sure whether it was Dark Empire or another one that it was in. That character, but that you're talking about. Because I think I remember you talking about this before. I'm not sure where my Star Wars stuff is at the moment. Otherwise, I'd get it out and show. But,
Well, like Star Wars memorabilia.
well, yeah.
This was more like a specific toy.
Oh, another idea. It was only a sketch they did, but they're gonna the villain. I forgot what they're gonna call the villain, but they were gonna. His ship was like 2 Imperial Star Destroyers, and one was like stacked on top of the other one.
Oh my.
Yep. And they also had a character called Mongo Beefhead, but that's only been made. That's only been made through bootlegs.
Oh my. They went and did it.
Well, I mean, it never got off the ground. I think it went as far as sketches and mock-ups.
Mhm.
And I think it was featured in a Toy Fair magazine in 1985. But none of the ideas it never happened, unfortunately. They even had sketches of what Luke Skywalker was supposed to look like as a Jedi Master, and a General Han Solo figure.
General
Also-
Han Solo. Ooh.
And they also had the Millennium Falcon, but they also had a little shuttle that was supposed to go in that gap in the front.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
They
yeah,
tried
there was
to
something like that.
improve it and failed miserably, I remember.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that we never got that. It's like, oh man, it's kind of like how we never got a continuation of Transformers after like only 4 episodes of the 4th season.
I know.
Could you imagine what we would have gotten? Because
Well-
the Japanese already had a continuation of the series. We would have had
Yeah, the headmasters. We would
They
have.
tried the headmasters here, but it didn't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had the toys.
I've seen it. I've seen the series of the headmasters for
So have I.
season 5, but unfortunately, it's all in Japanese. It's
If you look on YouTube,
eh,
Rick, if you look on YouTube, you can see like some people have dubbed it.
okay.
Yeah, the voices aren't great, but they're
It's better than I would say it's better than nothing.
Yeah, we would have seen. Let's see, what we would have seen? Six Shot take out. What was his name? He was like the other truck. Ultra
Little
Magnus.
motor,
Oh,
Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, he would have gotten killed by Six Shot. Galvatron eventually gets destroyed.
Well, we know that was going to happen.
Let's see what happened. Soundwave becomes Sound Blaster. He becomes a headmaster himself, and Blaster becomes Twincast.
Mm.
It was an awesome fight scene. I mean, literally, like Blaster tears off his arm and punches in Soundwave's tape deck. It explodes. Like that's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Sounds like it was more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
It was.
But we got the toys, but we never saw the continuation like the Japanese did. So
Yeah.
we missed
They
out.
tried a version of it, but it didn't. Like I said, it didn't last. It didn't.
Really?
Mhm.
well,
It was.
I know they did four episodes of the Headmaster series.
They
That was
did.
at the season 4, and then they ended it.
Mhm. Yeah, they hated it and decided not to do any more.
yeah, but it did go on for a lot more episodes in Japan, so you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
Yeah,
you can get the.
and if you
like
were,
I said, I've seen the subbed version, but I never got through it because always having to pause every 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why people like that, like the subtitle thing. Is like, I don't want to read my movies; I want to hear them.
Now the thing is, if you really wanted a comprehensive continuation, you had to go through Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
You had to go through the comics themselves.
but the comics were different
I know.
than the TV show, really.
Yeah, they because the communication was so terrible that they just went it on their own way, which is fine. Like for instance, Galvatron was not mega. He was a future leader of the Decepticons that went back in time, and so you had Megatron run into the Galvatron, who Megatron was also like mentally connected to Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most people didn't know that. Mhm.
I have most of the Marvel comic versions
Mhm.
of Transformers. I think I'm missing like less than 10,
You got the whole series?
pretty much.
Most people did. Most people did get the whole series because they felt that the cartoon series cut out a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I didn't get it back when it was first thing. There was somebody I forget how I got them, but I was just able to get them almost all at once.
Oh man, I would love to get those from you.
And then of course I have when Marvel brought out Generation 2 and all that, and then IDW brought them out and all that.
Interesting
Dreamwave.
Interesting fact: there was a issue where Grimlock and a bunch of Transformers were captured by the second generation Decepticons, and
Oh man.
and Red Alert had like this gun thing. He was pointing at them, and he got killed. He got melted or something. That was supposed to be a scene that was taken out. That was taken out of the script of the original Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get some more straightening of my room done, I'm gonna end up going through. I recently put all my comics in long boxes. They were in like Rubbermaid bins before, so they didn't get exactly put in like I would like them. So I'm probably gonna sort them again on camera, like I did before.
And maybe depart with. Give me some of your Transformers comic books.
No, I'll let you
Damn
look at them through the video.
Damn it! I know.
That could be one way to get a lot of views, though. Give away, Transformers stuff.
No, I had the issue where they were fighting Unicron. I think it was like the second part.
Mm.
But you had a bunch of pretenders get stepped on.
Oh yeah.
Well, was it Brainstorm got Unicron stuck his finger through him and ate him?
Well, it wouldn't been. I wouldn't say he wouldn't been able to stuck his finger through him and eat him because he would have been.
Well, he's got those really pointy fingers, so he basically impaled him on his finger and then ate him.
Yeah, which it'd be like somebody eating a mosquito. One of us eating a mosquito.
Yeah.
You have to
Or a
remember
fly.
the size of Unicron. He's a planet-sized transformer. So
I have eaten a mosquito, honestly.
Yeah, but not
was a
on
mistake.
purpose.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was
given the size of Unicron, yeah. The best thing about the Transformers movie was Orson Welles as Unicron. Now that was just too much.
Oh my god! It's sad that
well-
he died 2 weeks after that movie was released.
I know.
Well, the other great thing about it too is that Transformers movie is Leonard Nimoy doing Galvatron.
Galvatron, yeah.
And Bumblebee was cool.
Mm.
I'm just being silly, guys. Give me.
If Orson
I
Welles
kind
had
of wish they
lived
could have
to
kept Leonard Nimoy as the.
voice of Galvatron, yeah, that would have been been nice.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I just thought it worked.
It did. That was the whole thing. It did work, but I guess they couldn't afford to pay Leonard Nimoy what he was worth. And then again, everyone knew Leonard Nimoy as Spock.
I honestly think the Transformers movie actually aged better than the G.I. Joe movie.
It did. I know.
Well, I think the cartoon G.I. Joe movie was a lot better than the live action ones.
That's what we were talking about, the cartoon.
Yeah.
The animated movie.
Yeah. Megatron was so ruthless in the Transformers movie, wasn't he?
I know. Yes.
He shot somebody on the ground when they were pretty much dying.
Dead. They were pretty much dead, and he just finished it. He just finished the job.
I think we're boring, Diana.
It's all right. You guys have
well,
a good chat. You guys have,
I don't think Diana's ever been formally introduced to the Transformers.
I know Bumblebee. I know
Everyone
They said the Transformers, honey.
Transformers is a Bumblebee, right?
Well,
The
sort of.
actual
It's like
Transformer.
he's the commercial Transformer now.
Okay, so no. I
No,
know
he's a Transformer.
four Transformers.
You're probably used to the more modern live action movies for
Yeah.
Transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was because in Generation 1, Bumblebee was actually a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
And he can talk, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he talked too much, but that's neither here nor there.
What do you think of Eric Idle as Wreck-Gar?
Oh no, that was cool. That was cool. That was cool.
We talk TV.
Exactly.
I'm afraid.
That was cool because it's like throwback to every TV commercial you've ever seen.
And then who's the voice of Blur?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it was the guy who did the Micro
Steve
Machine.
something. I forgot his last name.
Yeah, but he was the guy who did the Micro Machine commercial, right?
Yeah.
The fastest
I'm not
talking guy alive.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Robert Stack as Ultra Magnus, and then Mike.
Oh,
was-
now that was cool.
yeah,
Because
Mike was,
you'd never think of anybody else being able to play Ultra Magnus.
wasn't Ultra Magnus like one of Optimus Prime's closest friends from back in the day or something?
Something like that.
Well, I'm not sure whether in that rendition he was or not. I'm not sure how much they knew each other.
Well, they never told. They never.
They never disclosed it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything was like one big commercial. And if you think about it, like the second season of Transformers, all those new Transformers that show up for no reason, no explanation, they're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I thought the explanation was simply
well,
more-
when you had then again you had Judd Nelson as Rodimus Prime
Yep. Oh, he was Hot Rod, and then he was Rod.
and Hot Rod.
Yeah.
I like Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, but as Rodimus Prime, it kind of lost something.
He was trying to do like an Optimus Prime style voice.
Right.
And it's honestly,
that's
yeah, they just were liquidating old toys. That's about
Yeah.
it.
basically that's what Transformers the movie was all about, liquidating old toys.
Yeah, well, that's the sad part. It unfortunately, I think they should have stuck with the original generation instead of going, to Galvatron for season 3 and all that.
I thought it was
Yeah.
great. I thought it was great. What are you
Galvatron
talking
was-
about?
Galvatron was great because he was, even though he was different from Megatron.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, I like the character and all that, but I just think it would have lasted if they would have kept with the, before, making a 30-year gap between season 1 and season 3.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, the time gap was a bit much.
Transformers the movie was pretty much one of my favorite movies. I mean, besides like Titan AE or Heavy Metal or Heavy Metal 2000 or what was another one that had a great soundtrack?
Heavy Metal 2000, you had to prepare yourself for.
Yeah.
Heck,
Yeah.
Transformers was that movie. It was one of the movies that I went to see in theaters by myself as a kid.
I saw it at my aunt's house on VHS. I think we had Domino's or something for dinner.
Just like I saw He-Man and She-Ra and the Secret of the Sword in theaters by myself.
That was a movie?
Yeah, it was a movie, but in the States it went direct to video.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, the only He-Man movie I thought of was the one with Dolph Lundgren.
Hey, Chris, you awake?
No,
No, I'm
And then
drawing. What do you
then
mean,
they-
am I awake?
Well,
and then
you
they broke it. Then they broke it into 5 episodes to kickstart the
She-Ra
She-Ra
audio.
series. Yeah.
Hey, Diana,
yeah,
why do you think I'm not awake?
because you haven't. You were quiet. I thought maybe you were sleeping.
Do you not see my drawing slowly evolving?
There's only one person I know that's ever fallen asleep on stream, and that's Vic.
I know a few people who've done that.
3 times.
And it's
You
I've
have.
done
I've
it a
fallen
little.
a couple of times too.
funny.
I've done it for a few seconds or a little bit longer. I know on Mike's stream I did one.
I was gonna say I've done it on Mike's show too.
No
Poor
comment.
guy. It was during
No
the Sunday
comment.
nighters.
No comment.
It was during those Sunday night shows where it's all the hangout.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
his show is interesting. I mean, the things he talks about are interesting, but sometimes like it becomes pretty like all these old stories are pretty much the same. One-dimensional story.
No.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's
Yes.
all in where he's getting, what he was reviewing for the day. I think too.
Yeah.
The
So
news that he's
tomorrow night
following.
we did a double header.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We have RJ's. We're going to be on Critical
I
Blast.
didn't know you were into
8 o'clock.
baseball.
And I am actually, but we are going to be be on Critical Blast tomorrow at 8. And then, Rick, your show's at 10, right?
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
A question, Diana. Have you signed
yeah.
up? Have you signed up for Melvin 3?
I have not. Have you signed up for our
Uh-oh.
show? No. You,
Actually, there's no more
Timothy.
sign up for Man Guy.
have you, have you
One
signed
question.
up for Manga Yoshokin yet? No, I don't.
There's no more signups for Man Guy.
Dang it!
Well,
They caught me in my own game.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, we started a while.
No,
You
the
left
question
yourself
is-
wide open for that, Tim.
I know.
The question is, have you bought Man Guy yet, Tim?
So yes, Rick, you have corrected me, but sign up or bought, however you want to say it. He hasn't. So no, I have not signed up for you. And it's not because I am in the middle of my last 2.5 weeks of school, so my focus is there, except for shows that I'm trying to get us on, which is what I was talking about. So we are going to be on Critical Blast tomorrow night. So if you have nothing to do, stop in and check us out. And you can buy a book if you haven't already done that. And I'm not only speaking to the people on the panel, I'm actually speaking to everybody that might listen to this later on if they're not here now.
She metaphorically stomped on my nuts.
Remember, we have
Feels so
PDFs,
good.
everybody. Only 10 that's pretty cheap. So, I mean, people's wallets are tight. I get it. My husband likes to spend lots of money. He's not allowed to buy any more books. I've already told him that. Stop buying books. Stop.
Well,
Looking at 2 other shows. I'm very
well, Tim,
excited.
thanks to you, Diana has an orange belt.
I know.
What?
I
No,
know.
I'm doing my spiel because I'm getting ready to go to bed. So we have 2 other shows that we are in the process of getting on. Which both shows I'm very excited about. I'm just waiting to hear back from the people, so I don't want to say anything just in case something, falls through. So if you are listening to this and you would like
Did
to
you
have Chris on
contact
our
Oprah?
show, actually, yes, we haven't heard anything
Christopher.
back. And so if you would like to have us on your show, we would like
Oprah.
to talk about our latest campaign on Indiegogo, Manga Yushuken. So please reach out to Peter I, and we can set something up.
Is
All
that
right.
what you call a booking call?
Yeah, that's a
For booking details, contact Diana.
Better not piss her off. She'll stomp on your nuts.
I'm working on my homework. I'll get going. Doing great. Rick, I like your Pied Piper. It looks awesome.
Thank
Actually,
you.
we are coming up on an hour.
Yes, and I'm getting ready to scoot out of here just because of that. But Terry, it looks great. I can see what you're doing. It's I love the fact that he's always working paper, one of our more traditional artists. And Chris, that looks actually pretty good.
I'm just messing around.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm thinking that as my time gets a little more available, I'd like to do themed draw streams, whether we work on characters like we're, Tim or Rick or Chris.
You want to rip off Drawn and Quartered?
Huh?
You want to rip off Drawn and Quartered?
I don't want to rip anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do, but it's okay.
you
They
can.
won't mind.
I'm not ripping.
they
I
won't
don't
mind
even know
because it's been done twice.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just for the record, I'm not aware of other shows that do what I'm talking about. And if you do, hey, it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. But not only doing other indie artists, but maybe some professional stuff too. We can, just say tonight is the night we're going to draw all characters from the movie, whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying
Careful.
I didn't say a movie. I just said movie.
No, I
whatever.
mean, careful what you pick. I might be like, oh no,
No.
I cannot draw that character.
And you guys can say no, you don't have to do that. Fine too. I'm just trying to.
Chris, here's a Samson I once did. I've got like another Samson I've done too before.
I see him. Cool.
Gee, Terry,
He's got
you seem to be
the
pretty nice.
breastplate of love there. That one breast covered for the sensitive nipple.
Would you like to sign up? Would you like to sign up for Melvin 3 only on Fund My Comic?
So Diana,
Yes.
did you get the drawing that I sent you that goes with that story?
Yeah, I did. I responded. I said I liked it. Yes, I did. I think I said
And
I did cool.
That
Something.
story
Yeah.
that story was actually written in about 15 minutes.
Good. Awesome. I know you're going to flush it out and you're going to put some dialogue because it was sort of like I read it and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a great idea. I didn't know if you were writing a novel or if you're doing a graphic novel or if you're doing an actual comic book with it. Got some good
I
bones
might do
for
a
sure.
comic book with it. I might do a comic book with it because I still got the characters to flesh out.
Right. No, I think that's awesome. That's good. So I am heading out, gentlemen. You guys do a great
Right.
job. When you're,
How much time do we have left before an hour?
I don't know what time you started. So
There's
I
a
know-
timer
So
on the right.
it's already been an hour.
Sorry if I
Well-
sounded like a dick.
Well, you started slightly after 9.
according to the timer, it says 1 hour and 52 seconds.
Right. So I had the 5-minute timer. So yeah, I'm gonna go soon too, just because I gotta get up for work in the morning, and I guess I'm doing a double header tomorrow night. Some guy named Rick has got a late night show.
Hey, sorry,
That's cool,
Diane. I
though.
didn't
I'll
mean to-
finally have a reason not to fall asleep because Diana will know about it. I keep falling asleep during your show.
I didn't
Not
mean
during
to-
your show, but before your show. Boy, that
No,
came out
no.
all wrong.
I didn't mean to sound rude if it was rude for me to plug my book on your show.
No, you can plug it all you want. I just came back
Right.
and said, so speaking of plugging books, have you backed us? No,
I have.
I know, no, and it wasn't really to call him out. I was just teasing with him. He can take it. But I really
Mom, what if you guys do that every week? Shoot,
what?
who knows how many backers you might end up with? Because it's like Tim comes on and says, "Did you back Melvin 3 yet?" Diana asked the same question about Man Guidance, like, and both of you say no.
Yeah, but it's all in fun. No, Tim, I don't mind if you talk about it.
No, the thing is, because it's all in fun, it's going to make a lot of people want to check it out anyway, just
I
to see
hope
what
so.
you guys are talking about.
I absolutely hope so.
And
Um,
of course, Canadian
hey, guys.
Shield 2 is second chance on Fun My Comic as well. It's
Yep.
live right now. So
That is awesome. All right, so I'm turning into my 10 o'clock
Did
pumpkin.
you just notice Mike came in?
Yeah, I did. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Diana. So,
We're
I
getting
sent
ready
you
to head
I
out.
sent you the date, so hopefully you'll get back to me soon.
Yeah, I did. I did send you a message saying that I would as soon as I know. Mike, I got about 2.5 weeks left before I graduate, so that's where all my time is. I can't really think about my May or June at this point because life is just crazy. I'm focused on finishing strong. So as soon as I figure out what we're doing around here on those days, I promise you I will let you know. I just don't know that right now, but I gotta go, guys. I'm exhausted. Peace out. Keep drawing. You guys are amazing, and God bless y'all.
Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah, I think I'd pop. I just finished my show tonight, so I just did pop in and say hi real quick and see how you guys were all doing. I did try to before I came into the StreamYard, I did try to like and share the stream a bit. So,
Oh, thanks, man. You know what? I was going to go to your show after this was done too. I'll catch you next time.
well, okay, Chris, you may not have heard because but I've cut my show down to at least the Monday through Friday shows, I'm sorry, the Monday through Thursday shows. I've cut down to an hour now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to do
like I didn't have enough material most of the time to carry it to now the weekend shows, the Friday, the historical comic retrospect on Fridays and the panel show on Sundays, those I still slate for 2 hours. Okay. But the Monday through Thursday show, the newscast shows, I cut it back to an hour now. So that's why I'm able to come in here now because I'm not I just finished my show. So
Yeah.
Actually, I find an hour's a little easier to manage too.
yeah.
Or about an hour. Because sometimes you go a little over, sometimes you go a
So a
little
little
less.
under, yeah. I Actually, I kind of wish you and Diana had been able to join us last night because we got in, and Tim and Rick can tell you, we got into a very interesting conversation, last night during the show because I kind of I obviously reported on the article myself on my channel a couple days before, but we were talking about how EBS, I guess, was roasting T. Franklin for putting a three-way into a comic.
Right.
An all-female three-way.
Hey,
So what
well,
we had a pretty good conversation going on with it too. Just
Yeah.
I guess when people say wholesome, they don't include violence.
no, they don't. They tend not to, but yeah, you know how that goes.
When I thought wholesome, I thought like Hallmark Channel crap. The stuff that's so boring it's unrelatable. Yeah.
or maybe something like Archie, maybe something like Archie comics. Actually, one of the articles I went over tonight, I basically went over 3 articles from Bleeding Fool tonight. One of the articles was how Avi Green, who's one of the writers for Bleeding Fool, was I guess a little disappointed or felt that Archie's starting to focus a little too much on horror comics right now. And there was
You have to understand, the bulk of Archie's readership is female.
and yet they're doing a lot of horror comics.
And thank you, Lorenzo, for putting all those links in the chat for Chris.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
And Lorenzo, I hope one of these days we can get you onto the panel show too. You're always welcome to come in and chime in on whatever we're talking about. As
Oh wow. I just laid back in my chair. This is comfy.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have basically my next 3 co-hosts in here with us tonight. I got Rick this Friday as we're going to be going over. We're going to be starting the October 1939 coverage of the historical comic retrospective. We're going to be going over the comics that went on sale from DC this Friday, including Batman Wars Against the Dirigible of Doom from Detective Comics number 33, which also has the flashback portion to Batman's origin in that. Then I got Terry next Friday. Terry scheduled next Friday when we go over Marvel Comics, and then Tim on the 28th when we'll be probably going over Archie Comics. So, well, at the time it wasn't known as Archie Comics; it was still known as MLJ Enterprises. So,
Ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's all gentlemen. I'm being paged from the other room. So I'm going to kill the stream. But
Okay.
Gentlemen, behold.
I was just dropping in to say hi and stuff. So
thanks, Mike. I'll be catching you, man. But I didn't know your show changed. It's good to know.
Yeah, I just cut it down to an hour. So basically, but the only problem is most of the time, Chris, you and I are well, even before I cut it down, we were more or less in direct competition. You guys
but I still can get you in replays, and I know I do. It's just I don't always watch them. Like, it comes on when I'm sleeping. Like, I'll fall asleep with YouTube on, and you're my constant plaything. So, like, I'll wake up, and it's you talking to me. It's kind of funny.
I wonder how much of that you really take in, too, because you know that with me doing a niche newscaster, I'm giving out a lot of information. I mean, if you're just kind of half asleep listening most of the time, are you really getting
I wonder sometimes because, like, I have a lot of historical research. I watch stuff on YouTube, and I'll wake up and, like, they'll be going through World War II again. And, like, I know more things about, World War II now than I ever knew.
Oh, I
subliminal placement, like, from watching these things.
I'm just sorry I missed out on the God chat. I would have liked to hear what you guys were talking about. Maybe contribute.
It didn't get too godly. I tried to get into Samson a little, but we kept getting sidetracked. But
Hey, Jeff. Jeff Potts is in the chat
hey,
as we're about to end.
Yeah. And
But-
thank you, Lorenzo.
Well, I'm gonna go get some dinner, guys.
we'll be back Wednesday, and we'll be on Rick's channel tomorrow night and RJ's.
Yeah.
Beyond
Tomorrow
that, I
night,
don't
10
think
o'clock.
Diana has any plans. She did write a letter for Oprah. I don't know if she sent it out yet.
I think she said she did, but she hasn't heard back.
I harassed.
Oh.
So,
Can I ask you a
Chris, you're
question?
gonna be on RJ's tomorrow night?
yes.
Okay. Well, I'll probably be stopping in to like and share that stream as I always do. So.
Sweet. What was the question, bro?
Well, do you want to keep all of your backers?
Yeah, why?
Then forget Oprah.
Well, yeah, no, that's more or less a joke. But whenever Diana says she's trying
It's
to
a
get me on
bad
the show,
joke.
I'm like, did
It's
you
a
try
bad
Oprah?
joke. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad joke.
Well,
Yeah.
could you see Oprah with me anyways? How long would I last on that show?
First of all,
No.
you got to understand one thing.
I would have to
You're
agree
still
with
doing
Paul.
God.
I have to agree with Terry. You may not want to associate too much with Oprah just simply because you guys do not run in the same circles.
I'm sure
No.
she'd love comics.
Oh, and I've got some
It's
good
not-
news, too. I was
Not
able
the
to
comics.
actually... Go ahead, Terry.
It's not the comics. It's the political crowd she runs with,
Yeah,
which none of us are a part of.
I'd have to talk her into becoming a right-wing independent.
Yeah.
Good luck with
But
that.
some good...
What's the good news?
I was able to actually get Clip Studio to allow me to upgrade to the EX version of 2 because I accidentally upgraded to the Pro, and I was able to do it for the same price as I should have been able to. So,
Oh, okay.
although I had to actually spend the money for the upgrade to the EX from 1, and then they're going to reimburse me the other money where, they weren't going, they were giving me all excuses that you couldn't do it at first and all that, So I wrote him a bit of a nasty email.
I got some good news.
Well, if they send the cops after you, I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
Yeah. Well, it was just bad as in, nasty emails. And I'm going to recommend people not get,
Yeah.
Okay.
up
Okay,
to
so
the upgrade
I'm
and all
about to
that.
I'm about to close the stream, but I want to share some good news. Ready?
Ready?
Jesus loves us all and died for us all.
Amen.
So I had to put that out there
Amen.
because this is a God chat, and yep, that's right. That's what I said. I'm not changing my story. Jesus loves you.
And I'm sure it's always okay to post to his YouTube, Lorenzo.
Jesus' YouTube, yes.
No, Jeff's YouTube. I know
Oh,
Jeff
cool.
would have no problem with that.
All right, guys. So I am going to kill the stream. I'll see you all tomorrow night. I'm going to go
All right.
do whatever
Yeah.
Diana is telling me I have to do before I go to bed.
Lorenzo!
I'll see you tomorrow, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, in between RJ's and Rick's show, of course, you guys will stop in on my show and check it
Yeah,
out.
well, Rick
Yeah.
is on till 10. I think RJ's on till 9, or Rick starts at 10. RJ's what, usually till 9?
No,
So I'll be able to
hey,
catch you in between there.
RJ starts at RJ starts at 8.
So yeah, I should be able to catch your show in between there. That'll be a triple header.
Yeah.
But on your show, I can just relax.
Yeah.
I won't have to be on it. I'll just listen and type a few things.
Yeah, participate in the chat, and then from what I know, one of the stories I'll be covering tomorrow will be a release from Akira Toriyama's latest project. I'll be talking about that. I was going to talk about that tonight, but another piece of news came in. Al Jaffe passed away.
Oh.
Oh,
Al
Well,
Jaffe.
I just noticed Tim's already gone.
Yeah, Tim took off about 10 minutes ago.
Al Jaffe
Yeah.
passed away.
I'm familiar with Al Jaffe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
102 years old. The only thing was I didn't realize all they did was update the article. I was going to end up reading the whole thing again if I hadn't realized it. But yeah, he passed away because I covered the article like a month ago when he turned 102. They were just recounting an interview he did like 15 years ago where he talked about his early experiences with in comics and as a comic and cartoonist.
Holy cow, he's been around forever. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go. Diana's yelling at me. All right,
And-
everybody.
All
love you,
right,
bye.
man.
All right.